All right, so let's dive into something I think a lot of you out there have probably been curious about.
Okay.
The Schick HydroSilk Touch Up dermaplaning tool.
Right.
I'll admit, when I first heard about dermaplaning,
Hmm.
I was a little intimidated by the whole blade thing.
I get that.
But then I started seeing all these amazing before and after photos online, and I
Yeah.
thought, I gotta learn more about this.
Yeah, it's interesting how dermaplaning has really taken off
Yeah,
recently.
yeah,
It used to be something you'd only get done at like a fancy spa.
right.
But now
Yeah,
there are these tools like this one, the Schick one,
right.
that make it accessible for everyone.
Exactly, yeah. So, for those who haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet,
Uh-huh.
can you break down what dermaplaning actually is?
Yeah, essentially it's a form of exfoliation
Yeah.
where you use a very fine blade to gently remove the top layer of dead skin cells
Mm-hmm.
and those tiny vellus hairs,
Yeah.
often called peach fuzz.
Right.
It sounds more intense than it is. It's actually quite painless.
Okay, so it's not just about hair removal.
Okay.
It's about revealing fresh, smooth skin underneath.
Exactly.
Got it. But what makes the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up stand out from, say, a regular razor?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's all in the design.
Okay.
Regular razors are designed for well shaving,
Yeah.
and they can be too harsh for the delicate skin on your face.
Right.
The Schick HydroSilk Touch Up is specifically engineered for dermaplaning,
Okay.
with features like those tiny microguards that we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Think of them like little bumpers that protect your skin from getting nicked
Uh-huh.
while still allowing the blade to do its job.
And it's designed for the face, not your legs, right?
Exactly.
That makes sense. I'm always a little clumsy with razors anyway.
Sure.
So I like the idea of those microguards. Speaking of which, you mentioned it's not just about hair removal.
Right.
What other benefits does dermaplaning offer?
Well, one of the things I find most fascinating about dermaplaning
Uh-huh.
is how it impacts skincare.
Okay.
By removing that layer of dead skin, you're essentially creating a clear pathway
Okay.
for your serums and moisturizers to penetrate more deeply.
Interesting.
It's like prepping the soil before planting a garden.
Right.
You want to make sure the nutrients can reach the roots.
So you're saying it can actually make my skincare routine more effective?
Exactly. Think about it.
Okay.
If your skin is covered in dead cells and peach fuzz,
Uh-huh.
those products are basically sitting on the surface.
Right.
Dermaplaning helps them get down to where they can really make a difference.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I've definitely noticed that sometimes my serums just seem to sit on my skin. I'm starting to see why people are raving about this tool.
And it's not just about skincare absorption.
Yeah.
Removing that peach fuzz also has a huge impact on how makeup applies.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever noticed how foundation can sometimes cling to those tiny hairs and look uneven?
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Especially around my chin and jawline.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Well, dermaplaning eliminates that problem. By removing the peach fuzz, you're creating a smooth, flawless canvas for your makeup.
So no more micro shadows from those tiny hairs.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing. Plus, you get that instant gratification of seeing brighter, smoother skin right away.
Exactly. It's a bit like polishing a piece of furniture.
Right.
You instantly reveal the beauty underneath.
Yeah.
And it's not just about looks.
Uh-huh.
Exfoliation is crucial for a healthy skin cell turnover,
Right.
which can help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles over time.
So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
Yes.
Instant glow A&D long-term benefits.
Exactly.
I'm sold on the concept. Now let's get into the specifics of the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up.
Okay.
What I'm curious about is how this compares to other forms of exfoliation.
Okay.
I mean, there are so many scrubs and peels and whatnot out there.
Right.
What makes dermaplaning unique?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Dermaplaning is unique because it's a physical form of exfoliation
Okay.
that targets both dead skin cells and those vellus hairs. Other methods, like scrubs, can be a bit abrasive, especially for sensitive skin,
Right.
and chemical exfoliants, while effective,
Yeah.
don't address the peach fuzz issue.
That makes sense. I've definitely had some bad experiences with harsh scrubs in the past.
Uh-huh.
So would you say dermaplaning is suitable for all skin types?
It generally is, but there are a few exceptions.
Okay.
If you have active acne or any open sores, it's best to avoid dermaplaning until those have healed.
Okay.
And if you have very sensitive skin, it's always a good idea to do a patch test first,
Right.
just to make sure you don't experience any irritation.
Good advice. And for those of us who are new to dermaplaning,
Yeah.
is it something we can safely do at home?
Absolutely. Tools like the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up are designed with safety in mind.
Okay.
Those microguards we talked about play a big role in preventing nicks and cuts.
That's reassuring to hear. I'll admit I was a bit nervous about wielding a blade near my face.
I understand. It's natural to feel that way at first,
Sure.
but once you get the hang of it, it's really quite easy.
Okay.
And remember, this tool is designed for gentle, controlled movements. It's not meant to be pressed hard against the skin.
So it's more about a light touch, like you're gently gliding the tool across your skin.
Exactly.
Got it. Speaking of gentle, you mentioned this could be beneficial for fine lines and wrinkles.
So
Is that because it's stimulating collagen production?
It's not directly stimulating collagen in the same way that, say, a microneedling treatment might.
Okay.
However, by removing that layer of dead skin, you're encouraging cell turnover, which can help improve skin texture and minimize the appearance of fine lines over time.
Interesting. So it's more about revealing smoother, fresher skin.
Right.
Which in turn can make those lines less noticeable.
Exactly. And the smoother skin surface can also help reflect light more evenly, giving you that radiant glow we've been talking about.
It's amazing how something as simple as removing peach fuzz can have such a big impact.
It really is. And it's not just limited to the face. You mentioned earlier that you have trouble with makeup application around your chin and jawline.
Yes.
Well, the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up can also be used on those areas.
Okay.
In fact, you can use it pretty much anywhere you have unwanted hair or want to exfoliate.
So I could even use it on my arms or legs.
You could. It's especially useful for those areas where you get those annoying little bumps from ingrown hairs.
Right.
Dermaplaning can help prevent those by removing the hair at the surface,
Okay.
preventing it from growing back into the skin.
Wow. I'm learning so much about the versatility of this tool. And I love that it's a more sustainable option compared to disposable razors.
Yes, absolutely. Choosing reusable beauty tools is a great way to reduce waste.
Right.
And minimize your environmental impact.
Okay, so let's say I'm convinced and ready to try the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up.
Okay.
What advice would you give for getting the most out of it?
First and foremost, make sure your skin is clean and dry before you start. You don't want to drag any dirt or bacteria across your face.
Makes sense. And you mentioned earlier that it's important to use a light touch.
Exactly. Hold the tool at a 45-degree angle and use short, gentle strokes in the direction of hair growth.
Okay.
Don't go over the same area too many times, as that can irritate the skin.
And what about aftercare? What should I do after I've finished dermaplaning?
That's where your skincare routine comes in.
Okay.
After dermaplaning, your skin is primed to absorb those nourishing ingredients.
So it's the perfect time to apply my serum and moisturizer.
Exactly. And don't forget sunscreen.
Right.
Freshly exfoliated skin is more sensitive to the sun, so it's crucial to protect it.
Yeah, that's a really good point about sunscreen. I always kind of forget about that after exfoliating.
Yeah.
So to recap, we're cleansing, dermaplaning gently, then applying our serums and moisturizers, followed by sunscreen.
Yes.
Got it. Is there anything else we should keep in mind to maximize those results?
Consistency is key.
Okay.
Just like with any skincare routine, you won't see dramatic results overnight. But with regular use, you'll notice a visible improvement in skin texture tone and that radiant glow we've been talking about.
So how often should we be using the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up?
Most people find that dermaplaning every 2 to 4 weeks is ideal.
Okay.
It really depends on your individual skin type and how quickly your hair grows back.
Right.
You'll start to get a feel for what works best for you.
That makes sense. And what about cleaning the tool? I imagine that's pretty important for hygiene.
Absolutely. After each use, rinse the blade thoroughly with warm water and gently pat it dry.
Okay.
You can also use a little rubbing alcohol to disinfect it.
Good to know. It sounds like proper care and hygiene are essential for both great results and healthy skin. I'm really excited to try this out for myself. It seems like a game changer for achieving that smooth, flawless look I've always wanted.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It's amazing how such a simple tool can make such a big difference.
Right.
And it's not just about the aesthetics. When your skin looks and feels its best, it can really boost your confidence.
Absolutely. There's nothing quite like that feeling of having healthy, radiant skin. It just makes you feel good from the inside out.
So thinking back to where we started, would you say you're less intimidated by the idea of dermaplaning now?
Definitely. You've demystified the whole process and highlighted the benefits so clearly. I feel empowered to try it at home now, knowing I can achieve those salon-quality results safely and effectively with the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up.
That's fantastic to hear. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to skincare.
Yeah.
The more you understand about your skin and the tools available, the better equipped you are to achieve your skincare goals.
Well said. And on that note, a huge thank you to you for sharing your expertise with us today. I feel like I've learned so much about dermaplaning and the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up. I'm sure our listeners are feeling just as informed and inspired.
It's been my pleasure. I always enjoy diving deep into these topics and exploring the science behind beauty.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you a newfound appreciation for the power of dermaplaning and the potential of the Schick HydroSilk Touch Up to transform your skincare routine. Remember, it's all about finding what works best for your individual needs and preferences. So if you're intrigued by what you've heard today, why not give it a try and see the difference for yourself? We'd love to hear about your experiences.
And if you have any questions or want to share your own dermaplaning tips, feel free to reach out. We're always here to support you on your journey to healthy, radiant skin.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep glowing.